Yo, it's been so fucking long since I made another one of these videos. As you can see, I'm a little dude now. I have a little dude in the bottom. That's me, I'm a little dude. I just like having a little dude. It's kind of cute, kind of funny. Anyways, we're back with another art video after so fucking long. And one of the reasons why I decided to create this video and have this premise where I challenged myself to kind of revisit a drawing that I've done. How many years ago has it been now? This is from 2012. Holy fuck. December 2012. So give or take, 9 years. Jesus Christ. It's really weird to really reflect on yourself from 10 years ago, man. This was maybe first or second year of high school where I was initially dabbling with Photoshop, as you can see here. Yeah, I had basically no prior experience with digital painting, so this was my first go. And on the right, this is my recreation of a piece that I've done a long time ago, just to see how far I've come. But even this one on the right is a year old, and I've actually improved with a couple of different pieces that I hopefully will get to talk about soon. But yeah, man, so much has happened. So much has happened in my artistic journey here. And I've taken such a long hiatus from drawing what I've always wanted to draw, which is anime girls. I actually took a few year break to work on my fundamentals, right? Because whenever you start out learning art, you post your stuff online, you're like, hey guys, what do you think? You post something that's, like what I did 10 years ago, and people are going to tell you, oh, it's very stiff, your fundamentals are garbage, you have no understanding of what it means to create an image, and you need to go read Loomies or whoever the fuck and study up on that shit. If you're amateur artist and you try to have any sort of communication online with others that are a little bit more critical of you, or go to art classes or whatever, anything like that, I think you will end up running into a lot of comments like that where people are basically telling you, hey, that thing you like drawing, don't bother, you're trash. Go work on drawing, go draw some other garbage that will help you draw better in the future. I'm sure if you attempted to communicate with other people about your interest in art, if you wanted some feedback on your work, some people are just going to give you that kind of blanket answer where it's like, oh, go work on your fundamentals, man. You're clearly not good enough to do what you're trying to do. And I think there's, you can't just ignore that. I think that's definitely a valid criticism, right? To be told that, oh, fundamentally you are lacking a lot of knowledge that will help you actually execute the image you want to execute. And it's very important to look at your image and see some truth in that and understand where that came from. Because looking at my old drawings, it's almost as if I didn't know how to draw. Now, of course, looking back, it's not that bad. I've seen a lot of like Twitter artists that post artwork that's the quality of what I've done 10 years ago, right? Maybe like 20% better, right? Maybe 20% better. And then they get like 5,000 likes or whatever, and I'm just sitting here like, bro, what? Like, what the fuck? This is what's happening, right? Why are we just able to not actually draw well and get likes on the internet? And so what you realize about drawing anime is that you can get away with a lot of shit and people will like your art even if it's fundamentally bad. And I learned this because you can become very bitter as an artist when you study nothing but fundamentals. It's like you're trying to objectively create good art pieces that have little to no flaws, right? From a fundamental standpoint. You don't understand that ultimately what you've created might not be something that's very visually appealing in any way, shape, or form, It might be technically impressive and correct, and it might have decent rendering and understanding of lighting and colors or whatever. But, if the subject matter is uninteresting, if the composition's uninteresting, if the idea or your heart behind it isn't particularly interesting, then, your audience will not engage with it. They will not see it and find any sort of enjoyment from your image. And I get this a lot, right? I've seen several art instructors in the past that I've studied under where their fundamentals are absolutely incredible, right? They can just look at a person and draw their fucking like skeletal and muscle structure in like 3 minutes, and it's just like a perfect replication of what that person's innards might be, right? And then their own creative works are just like so bland, and no one online really like engages with it. Right? Obviously, you know, marketing your stuff and building an audience is it is a different skill set. That's definitely a thing as well, to be able to market your subpar art, to get some sort of internet traction through art that is objectively maybe mediocre from a technical standpoint. I don't think, you know, I think a lot of Twitter artists and Patreon artists, you know, they get by doing stuff like that. Nothing wrong with it, you know. If you find people that genuinely enjoys your art, all the more power to you, man. Even if you're, you know, technically worse, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit if someone shits on you for not being as technically impressive? You don't give a fuck. You have people that love your stuff, and I think ultimately that's what matters the most. And I think that's something that I've completely lost track of. I just became this harsh critic deep down, where I look at an art piece and I just dissect it in these little aspects that ultimately don't matter. I stopped asking myself, is this pleasing to me? Do I like this picture? You know, I stopped asking that. I started looking at just stupid shit. I started looking at, oh, is the head height correct compared to the rest of the body? Is it proportional? Is the upper body 4 heads? Is the lower body 4 heads? Is the nose directly in the center of the face? Or actually, that's wrong. Are the eyes directly in the center of the face? So on and so forth. I became fixated with these kind of like soulless formulas that they try to teach you, and I forgot that if the piece you drew has some flaws to it from a technical standpoint, it doesn't fucking matter. Did you achieve your goal? Did you draw a hot ass fucking anime babe with a nice ass and nice boobs? You fucking did it, man. Who gives a shit if her fucking back's broken or if her ribcage can't hold any fucking organs? You think anyone fucking cares when they're jerking their cock off? No. You know what kind of fucking doujins I read? I don't even want to fucking describe it. Their proportions are so fucked. Sometimes they're not even fucking human. But let's not get into that right now. We're talking about creating art. So I guess really the lesson that I'm trying to kind of pass on is that, you know, when you create art, don't lose sight of what you love doing. Yes, you will run into skill plateaus where you might need to hit up fundamentals and train up on it. But if doing art makes you unhappy and makes you burned out just because you're trying to impress people with your fundamentals, oftentimes I think you will lose the soul of your piece, and you create these very soulless pieces that appeals to nobody. You can maybe impress some people with how technically proficient you've become. Is that all you want, is to become technically proficient? I think it's very important to really go at it with as much passion as you can, because the grind to get good can be so exhausting, and if you aren't satisfied with your results, it just becomes this mental block. It eats at you, where you really you lose sight of why you're doing this. And that's what happened to me, where I was training so hard in all of these different things. I was doing anatomy studies, I was trying to draw backgrounds, I was trying to photo bash, I was trying to incorporate 3D backgrounds to improve my workflow, I was trying to change up my art style to fit, you know, more generic, more acceptable Western kind of design philosophies. You know, I tried so much shit, and at the end of the day, there was only really one thing that I wanted to draw, really. Hot anime bitches. There's other things I want to draw too, but I think ultimately this was what I've always wanted to do. You know, of course, the technical skills I've built over the years allowed me to create this, but I think I've had to suffer through so many years of not embracing who I am as an artist and just creating these pieces that I cannot really commit my heart to. You know, and just looking at the progress I've made in these 10 years when it comes to this specific piece, you know, it's like 2 different fucking people drew it, right? There's nothing left from my work from 10 years ago that you can still see. And I guess, you know, moving out of your comfort zone is a good thing as well. You know, you don't want to stay comfortable and plateau and become stagnant in your art and become satisfied with something that's kind of mediocre, that holds you back as an artist. So it's good to experiment, try different things, see what works for you. And I think in the next few videos I put out, hopefully I put them out, you will see me experiment with a lot of different things that you've never seen me do before in my previous videos. And I think it's going to be very interesting, so please stick around for that. Hit that subscribe button. I might try to actually commit to making more videos now. And again, thanks for watching. I hope you stick around. Hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any sort of art journey of your own. I'd love to hear it. Yeah, I'll see you next time.